Hey, AG here. Right now, you exist. Or do you? You see, according to mathematical probability, the chance that you, yes, you specifically, a person with your memories, your face, and your thoughts will appear in a universe is so small that it can be rounded to zero. Zero. So, why are you here? And even stranger, why is anything here at all? I go to the gym. I have one of these locks, not the most secure. It has 4 digits. To steal my shoes, you need to try an average of 5,000 combinations. Tedious but possible, and someone actually succeed once. Now imagine a lock with 120 digits. 120 digits. To write down the number of possible combinations, you'd need a piece of paper roughly the size of the distance from Earth to the nearest galaxy. And the universe landed on this number on the first try. This number is called the cosmological constant. It determines how fast the universe is expanding, how strongly empty space pushes itself apart. And the universe nailed this number with absurd precision. What's more, it had to nail it, because if it had been off by even a single digit, boom, you wouldn't be here. Here is the thing. Physics is great at explaining how everything works. How gravity curves space, how quarks form protons, how stars turn hydrogen into iron. How that's our bread and butter. But when it comes to the question, why is it this way? Quarks. Okay, when physicists run into this problem, why the universe is structured exactly as it is, they propose solutions. All three sounds insane. The first one sounds almost comforting. What if there are infinite universes, and in an infinite number of variation, some appear where life is possible? This theory suggests that you and I are just lottery winners who beat the cosmic odds. This idea is called the multiverse. Beautiful theory, but completely impossible to test. There is an even stranger version. What if it's not a coincidence? What if the laws of nature somehow force the universe to be this way? Maybe consciousness isn't a byproduct but a fundamental property of reality. Someone or something tuned it exactly right. Sound profound, and again, we don't know how to test it. And there is the third option, the most honest and perhaps more likely. We simply don't understand yet. Somewhere there is a deeper level of physics, a law that will make all these coincidences unavoidable, and we're blindly looking in completely the wrong direction and can detect it. So, right now we have 3 options. We live in a lucky accident, we live in inevitability, or we live in ignorance, and we can roll out any of them. Welcome to modern physics. Let's say the universe somehow guessed all this number correctly. Galaxies formed, stars and planets come into existence. None of them even exploded due to some ridiculous accident. Let's even grant that life exists in our planet, but that still doesn't explain you. You see, even with all these cosmic coincidences, the probability of you specifically appearing is a completely different level of absurdity. For you to exist, your parents had to meet, of course. Out of billions of people on this planet, at the right time, in the right place. Okay, let's do math. Next, they had to convince a child at that exact moment. And do you know how many chances to you to appear at this moment? One of the 100 millions. One egg, 1 second. 1 second earlier, a different person. 1 second later, a different person as well. But there is not all. Now, do the same things for your grandparents, and their parents, and their parents, and so on. Thousands of generations back, tens of thousands, millions of years to the first Homo sapiens, to the first primates, to the first mammals. Each generation is a roulette wheel with millions of outcomes, and in every case, one specific outcome had to come up. Imagine, a million years ago, some distant ancestor of yours was walking across the savannah. He could turn left or right. If left, he meets one female, and right, another. hits on right, and somewhere in the end of this chain of infinite decisions and accidents, you appeared. We are not the only ones who have thoughts about the probability of a specific person appearing. There have been attempts to estimate at least the order of the magnitude, and every time the calculations quickly lost meanings. Scientists tried to account for all the probabilities I just mentioned. You know what conclusion they reached? These calculations are completely meaningless. The probability of you appearing is so small it's impossible to write down, and even zero is a generous rounding. And yet, here you are. You know what's the strangest? Every atom in your body was created inside a star. This isn't a metaphor, this is literally true. The oxygen you breathe was born in thermonuclear reaction somewhere in space billions of years ago. The carbon in your DNA was cooked in the core of the dying stars. The iron in your blood appeared during a supernova explosion. That star exploded, scattered its guts across space. That matter gathered into a cloud. The cloud collapsed into the solar system. Earth formed. And on this planet, atoms began assembling into molecules, molecules into cells, cells into organisms. Organisms evolved for 4 billion years, and eventually, Stardust learned to think about itself. You are the universe looking at itself. So, what was it? Chance to improbable. Design that only makes things stranger. Multiverse can prove it. The truth is, we don't know. And that's possibly the most honest statement modern science can make. But here's what I know for certain. Right now, in this moment, you exist. You are the result of 14 billion years of cosmic history, a chain of events so improbable that its probability is indistinguishable from zero. And yet, here you are.